All right, everybody, welcome to round 2 here at Versus Live. My name is Corey Ballmeister.
I'm Ross Marion.
All right, and we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
All right, Rob will be taking all your questions. Make sure to take at Star City Games to get those questions sent from Rob over to us. We'll get them answered. We got SCG Richmond coming, so there's a lot of different formats to be asking about. I've been pretty in touch with about, pretty close to all the formats. Modern a little less since the banning, but, a ton of new things to talk about.
Yeah, really a lot. I honestly cannot remember the last time where we've had 3 formats that were this interesting.
No kidding.
Mainly because Legacy has been such poop for so long.
Legacy just always stays the same, right?
It was fun for a while. From like 2012 to 2014. Maybe it's just nostalgia for me. Maybe I won a lot more in Legacy because I was playing a lot more back then.
Okay.
But it didn't change. I guess it didn't change a ton, but it was still fun. Like the 2012 was a lot of just like really when I played a lot of Legacy and started playing more of it. There was Maverick, there was Esper, Stoneblade.
Okay.
So Death Regimenters printed that fall. So 4 Death Regimenters.
Okay.
They were playing like Intuition for Lingering Souls. Like it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was slow. It was slower.
Interesting.
And then like old school Temur Delver with Nimble Mongoose.
It was always so weird to me that like some Legacy decks looked like they just couldn't possibly beat some of the standard decks, but it was just like that's the metagame that they knew they were going to expect to beat. But I was just like, if I ever just like jammed mono red standard against some of these Legacy decks, they could never win,
unless your standard deck had non-basic lands, in which case you just get wastelanded into the stone.
There you go. Before we get into it though, don't forget we are sponsored by Stars, City Games, and Carnox Chairs. If you want a Carnox chair, feel free to go to carnox.com/SCG, and you will be as fly as that man right there sitting on that chair.
Not very much.
Okay, you will be much, much more fly than that man over there because you will have a Carnox chair, and whatever you're sitting in now can't be as good.
Just can't be.
It just can't be. There's no way.
Yeah.
But you know what can be as good? Pioneer. Pioneer is awesome. I know you are heavily involved in Pioneer with not only your podcast, but we played a ton. A format that has been ever changing, and like you said, the bans are pretty much done. They're kind of popping up as needed now. We won't be seeing any more before these regional pro tours that we'll be seeing the 2 outside of the U.S. this weekend. I get to copy one of those deck lists and then bring it to Phoenix the next time. But as far as decks that we're going to expect, these are 2 of the decks that are 1 and 2 right now,
Yeah, I believe these are the 2, default top decks in the format.
Yep. And, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of Niv-Mizzet, and this is what I thought was great about this matchup. That's why I really wanted to bring this matchup to the table, is I've talked to players that are huge advocates for both sides of the deck, and they both think it's a good matchup for them. So whenever you know that...
The sure sign of a close matchup.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And, I mean, that's the thing is, like, you can't... Thoughtsy's the top of the deck from this deck is the main MO where if you top deck Niv-Mizzet, you get 5-6 cards. The 1-for-1 hand disruption removal plan usually doesn't thrive against that. But on the other hand, the speed of this deck matched up with some of the mass removal from this deck. It's a very interesting match, and I think it's very close.
Yeah, a lot of interesting dynamics. Like, can I just rush you out of the gates and close the game quickly if you don't have acceleration or you stumble with your mana? Do you have the mass removal spell to maybe catch you back up from that?
Yeah.
Once we get into the mid game, one of Mono Black Aggro's sort of claims to fame is that it's an aggro deck with a really low curve that doesn't really run out of steam. Between Mutavault, Castle Lockthwain, all the recursive threats, you keep coming against removal spells, but you have this ramp plan where you just trump, 2/1s that come back.
Well, and the beauty of this deck as well is this is another deck that keeps coming no matter what. With Niv-Mizzet keep refueling, and then Castle keep refueling. Like, it's a matchup where we're always going to be doing things, so it really comes down to who can play their things in the correct sequence, who can have the most powerful, sequence once again. As far as this, there's a lot of play to it. Sideboarding has a lot of dynamics, so I think we should just get into it. This is going to be a spicy one.
You're on the play.
So I'm going to go first. Yes. Maybe. I mean, honestly, a bunch of Thoughtseizes on the draw when I have less resources is kind of rough. So it will be interesting.
It's true.
All right. I think I can keep here a little awkwardness, but overall I think this is a fine hand.
I don't think I can keep a 7 without a 1-drop. I have enough with Castle and Mutable and all the recursive threats. Like, you just don't run out. So mulliganing is not a huge deal. Whereas this hand, 1 is almost virtually a mulligan, with Fatal Push is far and away my worst card in the main deck.
Yeah.
And just doesn't come out of the gates very quickly. So we're going to mulligan that one.
Love that. Love that. Okay. Rob, do you got a question at all queued up for us, my friend?
Iceblade wanted to know what you think about the Underworld Breach Lotus Field deck in Pioneer. Do you think it's a legit viable combo deck for this format?
Well, I think I'll let you take this one because I know you are quite a big fan.
Yeah, so the combo is obviously very powerful. It hasn't had a ton of success yet. And there's a couple reasons I think that's happening. One, I don't think people have adequately explored how to sideboard with it. It's pretty vulnerable to graveyard hate. Right now, there's a lot of it because the Breach deck got a lot of press.
Yep. And Mono Black always plays ley lines. That's just, a stock sideboard card there with the best deck, in my opinion. But
so there's some issue there, and they just haven't found a good sideboard plan to juke that hate yet. Assuming one exists, that might not. I also am skeptical as to whether or not Lotus Field is even necessary. I do think the Lotus Field engine can help give you a secondary game plan. You can play just the regular Lotus Field plan.
Okay.
It doesn't really use the graveyard that much outside of dig through time. It's actually the other issue with trying to play a game plan that just has hate cards and you kill theirs. Your best way to find the right pieces is dig through time, and that gets hit by the same graveyard hate.
Yeah.
But the lack of a good sideboard plan, and then the decision as to whether or not to play green and be a Lotus Field deck in addition to it. I've seen some Izzet builds that are more straight combo, have a little bit more in the way of just velocity spells, like redundant cards like maybe Shimmer possibility. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what they play.
Sure.
Ops and things like that to help find the pieces more reliably. And then maybe include a different sideboard plan, maybe like a Young Pyromancer, a Thing in the Eyes, Crackling Drake, something to that effect. And I kind of like that direction as opposed to being a Lotus Field deck, because Lotus Field isn't really necessary for the combo to work.
Yeah.
It's just that it's slotted well into that deck, and we already knew that engine was kind of powerful. So it's really about finding the right build. I don't think we have found it yet.
Yeah. And I do think that the deck unfortunately loses to itself a little bit too much for my taste. Just not finding the Breach, not finding some of the combo pieces you really need. It doesn't match my play style, so I haven't put a ton of thought into it. But it is a deck that I'm constantly afraid of, and I need to keep in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it is sort of a 3-card combo, right? Like, you need the Breach, you need the Flooding, you need the Strings.
Yeah.
But the fact that Breach lets you just cast the other pieces from the graveyard, it means it is that
you
much
still need them at
better.
some point, or you need to have flipped them in some way. But
between strategic planning, and so I've seen lists play Compelling Argument. There's actually an Izzet list that played Lotus Field, but none of the green package.
Okay.
And Compelling Argument, which it could cycle early, to just dig through its deck, and then you start milling 5, and that gives you a loop without Chronic Flooding. You can, because you mill 5, and then you need a few cards in the graveyard to get that engine going, and then eventually you find the Flooding.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Though, we're not done exploring and figuring that deck out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if someone in the non-US regional pro tours just breaks that deck wide open, and it's insane. This is going to be the test. Giving pros the first crack at a Pioneer format is we're going to see some stuff. And
I hope we see some cool stuff.
Yeah.
This hand is unfortunately even worse than the other one.
Oh no!
4 swamps, double spawn, Fatal Push.
Yeah, that's not very good. Not very good.
That is close to the worst functional hand I could draw in this matchup.
In this matchup for sure. You got one more question, Rob, for us?
I do.
All right.
Swallow Fellow wants to know, how do you think Chonky Red is positioned in the metagame? It's kind of been around for a while. Do you think the metagame has adapted to it?
Yes.
I think it has started to adapt to it, and there's actually There is a Japanese pro who won either a challenge event or the Pioneer. There was like something other than a challenge event.
Pioneer Spotlight.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I don't know what that is, but
they did one. There was on Magic Online. There was one for each format last weekend.
Cool. But they won with a more aggressive mono red deck that even played like Abbot of the Carol Keep, which I just love that card. That card is nice. And decks are starting to go under to be able to beat these Niv-Mizzet decks because Niv-Mizzet was taking advantage of the chonky side of the red.
Yes.
The red, Niv-Mizzet, a 5-color, expensive, kind of all over the place deck, is not good against red. It's good against chonky anything, though. So that's the problem is now you see Niv trying to react to these big red decks. Now you're going to see little red try to go under Niv. That's the kind of flow we're in, and
exactly.
We'll see what's going to come up on top. But yes, the world has adapted to chonky red.
I would not be playing chonky red right now.
Yeah.
Put it down.
Yeah.
Or at least, cut 2 lands and your Glory Bringers and play more 1-drops.
Yeah, exactly. I really wish I could remember this person's name because their list was awesome. I guess you can probably go over to some site and check out the list. But
There was a slightly different red aggro list that top 4 the PTQ, one of the PTQs over the weekend in New Jersey from Zach Keeney.
Yep, I did see that.
Also received an endorsement from Kellen Pastor. So
yep. A lot more adventure creatures in Zach's.
Yeah, they like Rimrock Knight quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a spell and it's also a creature. I played with a little bit in my standard dropping bombs with it, and it was quite nice yesterday. So, all right, great questions, everybody. Keep those coming in. We're gonna get these games underway. All right,
let's play some 1-drops.
All right.
So the smaller red deck, do we just call it Diet Red?
Junk.
That is what
Keto Red.
I believe Todd was streaming with it and called it Diet Chonk.
Diet Chonk. Wow, that is such a Todd thing to do. I'll call your bluff.
If this were the 1990s, you'd probably call it reduced fat.
Okay.
Reduced fat red. Double Knight, you're up.
All right. So
this card is also probably not very good in this matchup.
Let's see what we want to do here. Have a decent amount of options.
What was that card again, Ross?
All right, we're going to start by cutting your night off and pass to you.
Also, I'm probably going to butcher the Japanese player's name, but Harlan has informed me that the player's name is Teruya Kakume, I believe is how you say that.
Yeah, I think you actually nailed that. Yeah. An unbelievable Magic player. I've lost to him in so many Pro Tour / Mythic championships.
Yeah. So you're going to go to 14?
14, you're going to get a counter. Yep.
Excellent. You're up.
All right.
Not a ton for me to do here.
I got a ton. Red, green, black, blue. I guess we need...
you can get anything that's not red or green.
All right. So we'll go like that. You know what? Let's actually get a black here. Black, white, red, green, blue. Okay. So we're going to Niv. God, it feels like I'm home casting Niv-Mizzet on Versus Live here. All right. So we're going to get the top 10. And 10. Okay, so not the best.
Only 2 cards.
Only 2 cards, but we'll take these, and they go to the bottom, right?
Fairy's pretty good against my plan right now, pumping this knight.
Not bad. Okay, so I'll pass to you.
So, and yours is going to gain you some life, though.
Yeah,
It was only 2 cards, but I really hate seeing both of them. We are going to Swift End.
Okay.
Your buddy Niv-Mizzet. I'll go to 18, attack you to 10.
You go to 18, I go to 10.
This will get a counter.
Yep, you're up. All right. That's Fairy is pretty good against that. I think it's probably something I want to do, but I think this is a little bit better.
There's a little awkward that you'd have to tap the carry added.
Yeah, we'll just take this and then play this. Go.
Pretty messed up.
Hostage Taker's a pretty good Magic card, huh?
It's not okay.
Not okay. Has been declared.
Scrounger.
Okay.
Best turn.
We be scrounging. All right. 2 or fewer lands, so Canal will enter tapped. I do like this mana base. This was online by made popular by Matthew Folks. Been really liking the deck, and I like this list quite a bit, actually. I just think it's a good spray of actual cards that do decent things. Like Hostage Taker was a Demir card that was not in a lot of lists, but it's a very powerful effect, you know?
No, I think tuning the mana base and getting a little bit less adventurous with what spells you're playing has really helped this deck out.
All right, Bring to Light. We're gonna get
for 3.
We're gonna go with 5
for 2.
We're gonna go with 5.
Green, black.
Yeah. Green, black, green.
Yeah.
Wait, can't even cast that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so we're gonna restock again here. 1, 2, and what do you know? We're gonna restock again. Siege Rhino in here. Can't get that one.
So we've got a 4-card draw here.
We just got a 4-card draw. No big deal. Put all these on the bottom.
I've never played that variant of poker before.
Yeah. All right, I'll play with all the cards revealed.
It doesn't seem fun.
All right, I guess I have to discard a card. I don't really want an Unmoored Ego against you. You know about these 5. Now here's a nice one too.
Well, guess we will play our Rankle
Ranky.
and pass the turn.
Okay.
So, Corey,
Yep.
we usually talk about how bad cranial extraction effects are normally in decks like this, so why are you playing the Unmoored Ego?
Unmoored Ego, it's a random one of that can be good in certain matchups. Not great here. It's a card I probably wouldn't play if I submitted to this for the Pro Tour, but I wanted to try it out and see if it has good game 1 implications. And right now, it's not very good, but if I knew a little bit of information of your hand, or if I was playing against Chonky Red, where, maybe Chandra was bad against me, I can see it having implications, but just like naturally drawing it isn't great, so.
But it's so good as a one-of in other matchups, and you can tutor for it with Bring to Light. So as a singleton in your main deck,
it seems reasonable. Yeah.
Because this deck strategically is going to line up pretty well against decks that are just creatures and removal spells.
Yeah.
The super aggressive ones, like that's where you get punished. But you get, the mid-range decks like this that are trying to outvalue the opponent are often vulnerable to ramp decks and to combo decks, and Unmoored Ego really shines in those matchups.
Agreed. I'm going to go to 13. I'm going to draw a card. I am going to play a land. This dies, and we're just going to play pretty defensive here. We're going to say go. We have a little bit more of the inevitability in effect at the moment.
Okay, I'll play a Rankle.
All right.
You're up.
Okay, I actually don't want to sack this because I wouldn't mind drawing a land. All right, we're going to tick up. Now we're going to get busy.
I will go to 12.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we want to do here? Let's go with a... Nahiri?
Yep.
All right. Nothing great to do here.
Exile the Niv-Mizzet.
Yeah, yes, of course. We are going to tick this up to 6 to discard a card and draw. Oh, discard. Don't really need a Paradise Druid.
It's another way to tutor for Niv-Mizzet. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of sweet, actually.
And you guarantee yourself 2 of them.
Yeah. It's pretty spicy. So we're going to go like this and pass to you, get a trigger on Knight.
I think you're so cool.
Do think I'm kind of cool.
Knight triggers. Well, I'm going to ultimate price the Knight.
I have paid the ultimate price. Okay.
I would like to declare an attack.
Sure.
Rankle and Scrounger.
All right.
Let's get in with this one too.
Get in with that one too. We're gonna block here, and we're gonna sack this. Gonna get ourselves a forest and abrupt decay your Scrounger.
That is not what I expected. I was expecting the Rankle to die. Had I known this is how this was going to go, I would not have attacked the Dreadwanter. So you're going to go to 10?
Yep. And what modes?
You already have 1 million cards.
I do have 1 million.
I'm just going to have us both draw.
Okay, so 9 to 11.
Yep. And then I will play a Spawn of Mayhem for Spectacle.
Alrighty.
Pass the turn.
Okay, so we got you at
I'm at 11. You got an 8-point attack.
We don't have a ton of direct damage or anything like that in this deck. Well, actually, that's not true. That's not true.
Oh, am I just dead? Yeah, I forgot about the ribbons.
Yeah, I forgot about the ribbons here, too. I think it's probably going to force you to chump So if I go like this, you take 2, go to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, so it does
So
force a chump.
it does force a chump. Okay, so we'll do that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Okay.
Well, yeah, let's jump that. Go to 9.
Even just forcing the chump is fine. We'll exile that. We'll tick up. We'll play this. We'll go with the Sylvan Caryat, and we'll pass to you and bring to light whatever we want.
Yep. Very, very dead.
So this was a case where you had a window to just basically win the game on turn 1, not knowing my hand, of course, but I just had a Caryatid that I was very reliant on. So I got away from you on that game because you didn't have it. But I mean, if you did, I was in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I do think that if you're on the draw from the mono black side, you do want to Thoughtseize on turn 1.
Yeah.
Because taking their acceleration is hugely important.
Yeah.
Especially Caryatid, which is going to blank whatever 1-drop you play anyway.
Yeah, and I mean Paradise Druid you can kill at some point. Post-board it gets a little worse because you don't want cards like Fatal Push in, but still a very powerful effect. Yeah.
In Paradise Druid, I think it's pretty easy for you to just play a 3-mana spell like a Teferi or something, or Euro, and then next turn play your Niv-Mizzet. Then you don't really care if I'm spending my time dealing with your Paradise Druid.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break here and get set up for sideboarding, and then finish out this match between Mono Black Aggro and 5-color Niv to Light. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Mono Black Aggro and 5-color Niv to Light. On my side, we're basically taking our 7 main deck removal spells, which are not good in this matchup, and turning them into 7 spells that are good in the matchup.
That are good. You're a sideboarding expert.
Yeah. So Self-Inflicted Wound is basically here for this matchup. This is why this card got added to the sideboard. Mono black players were initially struggling with the Niv decks when they were first coming up. I first saw this from Andrew Jessup on Twitter. I don't know if he was exactly the first person to do it, but that was the first time I saw it. It seems great. Dealing with the mana creatures efficiently. Even if you don't have mana creature, it'll kill a Niv-Mizzet that you play. Gives you a little bit of extra reach. This is just perfect removal spell for the matchup. Yeah,
I mean, it's a little situational late game after, like on that board, if you would have drawn that on turn 6 or whatever, it would have been bad, right? Because I would have just sacked a thing. But if you drew it on turn 2, it was excellent. And if I played a game where I'm going removal spell, then Niv-Mizzet, and you just get to 2 mana, kill that, I lose a little bit of life, that's pretty nice.
And I do think I need to be stressing my advantage in the early game.
Yeah.
I think you are advantaged late, even though this deck does play a little bit there. This card might be just the reach spell you need. If I get you down to 1-2 life, Self-Inflicted Wound, if you have a green creature.
Yeah.
You might get to spots where you don't even want to cast a green creature, green or white creature, because you've got the board stabilized.
Sure, yeah.
And then bringing in a few duresses. The deck isn't a Niv deck with mana creatures, but basically everything else is possible.
And I mean, half of my Nivs you still get to take with Bring to Light and stuff like that. So things I'm bringing out, the Ego we talked about, a card in hindsight, I don't think I would really want to register in the main deck. Depends on what the metagame calls, but having one of these type of effects in there for for Bring to Light to be able to hit a Lotus Field deck, or something like that.
Honestly, even in the mirror, if you take out their Nivs,
good luck.
Hugely ahead.
So maybe this is just a nice silver bullet, and it is only 1, but you technically have 5 copies. That's the beauty of this Niv to Light deck, is you put a random 1 of in here, but it's a 5 of with Bring to Light. And this is the type of card that may be powerful enough to not want to pick Niv-Mizzet Reborn in certain matchups. So I can see it, and I think it's worth some more testing.
Not the matchup for it.
Not the matchup for it. We'll stress that for sure. And who knows? I mean, I'm interested in playing this for the Pro Tour. Playing Niv-Mizzet Reborn.
Interested in playing this literally every day of your life. I assume you dream of Niv-Mizzet.
I sure do. I sure do.
And I like strolling in a meadow of flowers.
Oh yeah.
Music is playing. Birds are chirping.
I have to discard 4 to hand size after I cast it. I just flip over just guilds. I'm like, here we go. All right, and then we're going to take out Utter End. It's a little slow. Nothing huge we want to, take out that we want to kill, really, besides like Rankle, but we have plenty of cheaper stuff to do so. Discovery Dispersal is just kind of a weak card. And then Teferi isn't great here, too. So we're going to take out those 4. Basically just bringing in anti-aggro cards here. Blood Baron, I hear, is pretty good against a mono black deck. Let's get the fact checkers. That's true. I mean, yeah, that is a great card. That is a great card. But, you know, put a Tolsmir out first, and then we got some wolves to sacrifice, and yeah.
You've been busting me up with that card for like 2 months now.
I know.
swear, like once a week, you know, it's not all the time, but like once a week you just play a deck with that card. And I'm just like, I can never beat it.
Yeah, it's really true. Tolsmir is one heck of a Magic card. So,
and then when you love 1-mana 2/1s too much.
Yeah. You love your squires, that's for sure. And then we got Deafening Clarion and Abrupt Decay to smooth stuff out a little bit. Of course, the old red, white, and green, black spell. I mean, that's just what this deck's about, is just max greediness. Yeah.
Like working on this mana base, I normally like that's part of deck building that I think I'm quite good at.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like I can't even set up the problem with this. Like,
yeah.
You know, I read it and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I just want to move on to the next thing. Like I'm not sure like what you actually need. Like what is the difference between playing, you know, Opulent Palace and Sandstep Citadel, or you have
agreed
so many options.
That is not where
deck. I don't know.
That is not where I strive either. You know, I mean, that, you know, mana bases is not really my forte. You know, I'm a much better, you know, kind of trying to find the sideboard tech for a matchup, cards that people kind of forgot about, find, you know, the certain cards just to base a shell around. But mana bases, it's always just, you know, give Brad a call, be like, hey, what should I do with this? And luckily we gave somebody else a call there, Matthew Folks on Twitter, to be able to fix that mana base. And the mana base looks pretty clean.
The more that we can outsource, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so speaking of outsourcing, can we outsource some questions to our director, Rob?
Yes, we've had several questions. Do you think that Phoenix is still viable in Pioneer?
Okay, we're outsourcing, Rob, so you answer.
Yeah. So, Rob, just do all of it, okay?
Let's see. Ride Over Turf says no, I guess, so I'm going to go with that.
Okay. Yeah, I too, like, I am a big Phoenix fan, but I think, like, when some of these combo decks are leaning into needing their graveyard's hate is still around. I don't know why Phoenix is not being played a lot. I never really had a good reason to put it down. I was still doing very good with it, but I just moved on to other things. So I don't. Maybe it still is good, and I just haven't been playing it.
I've never thought that deck was very good.
Yeah. Well, after Young Pyromancer, I thought the deck was like really actually back, but
the issue for me is you just don't have the density of quality cantrips, and that's what makes those decks good.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Xerox deck for people familiar with that term. Like, you need the good cantrips to really make those decks super powerful. You know, I get it. Like Treasure Cruise, obviously really powerful when you're, you know, doing it, and Thing in the Ice can be powerful. Or Young Pyromancer, you know, some of your Phoenix draws are really nice, but like there's just not that level of consistency that we saw with the modern version of the deck.
We've also seen me play, and we know how many Phoenixes I get in play, so maybe that's why I like the deck a little bit more.
So the deck always felt a little glass cannony to me. And just not consistent enough, and consistency is what those decks trade on.
Yeah.
So it was lacking in a really fundamental quality. So I
like the mono black. Is it Phoenix matchup though? I mean, just removal. Even if you Thoughtseize, like you're top decking like Cruise into a bunch of more spells and stuff. So I like that matchup. The Niv-Mizzet matchup is probably really bad.
Yeah, because they're just better at grinding than you are.
Exactly.
They have ways to contain your Arclights. That's maybe another reason that you want the Unmoored Ego use.
Maybe.
Ego, they're Phoenixes, and like, yeah, you're going to beat a couple Treasure Cruises.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not super popular these days. So the Pioneer gods maybe know more than I do about this deck. But yeah.
Next one, Rob.
Who is the scariest opponent you face in playing Magic?
The scariest, huh? You want to take this first?
Yeah, I have an answer for it, and I'm gonna go with Seth Manfield.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard for me to really put a finger on it, but he's one of very few people that when I sit across from them, like I feel very obviously, like, you know, world-class player. I feel very outgunned. I can't really like get an idea of what's going on with him. Like, and I know, you know, I've also tested with him. And I just have a really hard time getting inside his head.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we think in very different ways.
Yeah.
And that translates to the table, too. So I have a very hard time just picking up what he's doing, what he's thinking about. And he's like, so I always feel like he's thinking on a higher level than I am. And I just basically every time I play him, I'm like, well, I hope I just draw really, really well, and it doesn't matter.
World-class player, that's for sure.
I think I've beaten him twice in like maybe 7 matches or something.
Yeah.
Like, both times I beat him, I drew really well.
Yeah. All right. I suppose my end boss is Piotr Glukowski. I'm 1-3 against him in Pro Tours, and I just beat him at the last Mythic Championship. And I sat down against him, and I'm just like, all right, Piotr, this is the match that I take you down. I'm 0-3 against you. It's time to be 1-3. It's like, 0-4 you will be. And I'm just like, all right. And then I got really lucky. He got massacred. But he's an intimidating player too, that's for sure. But yeah.
Anybody that really, is very stoic can be tough. But like, even some of those is not a big deal to me. Seth, I just don't ever know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
I know he's seeing things that I'm not seeing.
Who'd have guessed the two of the people that we choose are MPL world-class players? Of course they're terrifying.
Yeah.
So, all right, good questions, everyone. Keep them coming in. You're going to be on the play, I imagine.
Indeed, I will.
Okay.
And I will be keeping this hand.
I think I'll keep as well. It's a little strange, but we're going to keep it.
And I am going to just Thoughtseize on turn 1.
All right, I got a very redundant hand here, but...
Given that you have the second Druid and I don't have a second Thoughtseize, feels like I should be taking Niv-Mizzet.
It's reasonable.
Ooh.
It's an interesting hand, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's weird also because you only have 3 colors of mana.
Yep.
So if I take a Druid, you have to draw a red or white mana to cast the Niv-Mizzet.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how likely.
We probably got a lot of those sources.
Yeah, and you need one or the other. It's not like you definitely need red or definitely need white.
And let's get real, I'm a lucky guy, so.
But I also think if I leave you with both Druids, you're pretty free to trade them.
Yep.
And it's like, how super important is the second Niv-Mizzet? Like the first one's doing a ton of damage.
Whichever one you choose, I'm going to draw the other way out of it, so.
I'm going to take a Paradise Druid, actually.
Okay.
This also leaves me out of drawing another Thoughtseize.
Or a Self-Inflicting Wound.
Yeah.
I think I would take that as well.
Yeah,
I think if I just get to that, you're in trouble. All right, let's go with this and pass to you.
Okay, and now I have a Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Scrounging. All right, now let's just go with the Paradise Druid and pass to you.
Okay, attack for 3.
I will take it.
Brings you to 17.
17, yep.
And Elsa really didn't want you to want to trade here.
Sure.
I had the spawn, so I'll pass.
That's not a bad plan. Okay, that was an awkward draw.
Got a nice little 1-2-3 here.
All right, we're gonna go like that.
There's the red mana.
And I'll pass to you.
So upkeep, we each take 1.
Yep.
16 to you, 17 to me.
Correct.
Draw. Do I want to trade Scrounger for Paradise Druid? It seems reasonable. Let's attack.
I think I need to block. There's certain draws that kind of hurt me here, but I just have to.
So that'll bring you to 12.
Yep.
And I will play this, and I will play Knight.
Okay.
And on the end step, Knight will get a counter, and I'll pass a turn.
I'll untap. All right. Well, I think it's got to be Niv-Mizzet time, I imagine. Blue, black, green, red, white. Okay. We'll play one of these.
Yep.
I'm guessing it's going to die, but maybe. Well, let me double check. If I'm actually dead to Murderous Rider plus Pump.
You would go to 11.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I have to do this. I need to get some stuff going. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's get...
Well, Euro or Bring to Light. You got to choose.
Yeah. It's a good question. I don't really need the Bring to Light. I think I would rather have a Euro here. So let's do that. Put these all to the bottom.
Yeah, I do indeed have the Swift End.
Okay.
So I'll instep that.
All right.
That brings me to 15.
Sure.
Upkeep, I will go to 14, and you'll go to 11.
Yep.
Yeah,
I feel like we're in a bit of a pickle here.
It's a draw. You have so many good cards. So, I will Thoughtseize you.
Okay. I got some cards. So you're at 11 and I'm at 11 now then, right? After your Thoughtseize?
I'm going to go to 12. That's what I'll have.
Did you take one from?
Yeah,
spawn?
I was at 17. I went to 15 on the end step from Swift End, 14 on upkeep, and now 12.
Okay. And I'm at 11.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. This is hard.
This is troublesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm in a lot of trouble here, but
So the even more difficult thing is I have third Thoughtseize. So
okay.
I get to take 2.
Okay.
And my first instinct is Nahiri and Euro.
Okay.
To just make you tap out for Niv-Mizzet. I could draw like any removal spell and you'd be very dead.
Yep.
Niv-Mizzet like doesn't even block. We'll have to chump this actually.
Yep.
Right? So, yeah, so Niv's not even good. And if you Teferi one of them, you're dead to the other. Regardless, you didn't need to Teferi into something else. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, so this is easy. This isn't complicated. We'll take the Euro and the Nahiri.
Okay.
You only have 4 cards here, so you're short of escaping it.
Yep. Fabled Passage on top.
Yeah.
Fabled Passage would be so good. Blue, green. Oh no, I can cast both.
You need
Fabled Passage.
Blue, green.
Yeah. But Fabled Passage into a plains to be able to go Fabled Passage plus Teferi. That's what's on top.
So I'm at 10 from the other Thoughtseize.
Okay.
I'll attack you for 6.
All
That'll
right.
bring you to 5.
6 down to 5. Yep.
And then this will get a counter and end step.
All right, let's go. Yeah, both of them are lethal threats now. Huh.
If you kill one, I can get back Scrounger, which might be good.
Yeah. That's probably a good draw here. I mean, I just don't know exactly what I can get, but I'm guessing this is my best play.
Oh, yeah. You have Supreme Verdict at the very least.
Oh, yeah, that's
pretty
right.
good.
That's right. I mean, you get to bring back...
Yeah, and then I just have Scrounger and like hope to draw. Hope to draw.
2 of our Wolfie friend as well, but that's not great.
Yeah, Tolsimir doesn't really fight anything.
Nope.
Yeah, 3/4 and 4/4.
I have a Hostage Taker.
Blood Baron wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, Hostage
Why
Taker is a consideration because I can
We
take
just
that
take this and chump.
and then chump.
That's all that. I mean, that just seems worse than killing them both.
Yeah, I think Supreme Verdict is kind of... but Supreme
Oh.
Verdict does kill my Caryatid here, and
yeah.
that is a
So maybe-
huge deal.
And you also don't take damage with the Hostage Taker.
Yeah.
So maybe Hostage Taker. Is
Maybe
better.
Tolsimir and not fight?
No, because then you're just dead. Oh, you still gain the 3.
I gain 3, yeah.
You don't have... Yeah. The wolf entering is how you gain.
A legendary 3/3. Okay, I actually think that is probably my best option here. Let's do one quick pass over to see if we got anything else. Seems reasonable. I could go Siege Rhino too and chump, but I think that's worse.
Yeah,
So
double chump is actually pretty reasonable.
yeah. So we'll gain.
Then you get to Teferi this, chump again.
Yeah. So we'll gain 3, and then you don't get 2 Scrounger.
Yeah.
And then I don't lose my Caryatid. So yeah, pass to you. I'll go to 8.
So 8 to 10, upkeep.
7 to 9.
7. I'll go to 9. This will get a counter.
Yep. So we're definitely running low here.
And
3,
that.
4. All right, so I can't double block and kill
that'll do
the.
it.
You got a rankle?
I drew a wound. So that'll bring it to 5 and then 5 in the air.
All right. Because it's let me read that one more time. It's sack any.
Any green or white creature, if you do, you lose 2 life.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, we put ourselves in a decent position to try, but yeah, it was just the plain and simple fact of being on the play there. You know.
Really strong curve on the play from my side. Thoughtseize into Scrounger, into Big Flyer, into double Thoughtseize.
Yep.
And then, or into Thoughtseize Murderous Rider, right?
I think there was even a consideration for you only Thoughtseizing once that turn and just pumping instead, putting me a little bit lower. And not taking 2 things because I was only going to be able to single spell anyways. Like even if I Euro, I have to hope to get another land. Like I didn't think you necessarily had to take Euro.
Yeah.
I think Nahiri is probably a pretty solid pick, but yeah.
Well, the Nahiri is awkward for you there because your only white source was the Caryatid.
Oh yeah, everything was awkward for me because the Caryatid was definitely holding a heavy weight.
I could have left you at 2 and said, okay, draw a white source that's untapped that isn't a shock land.
Yeah.
So basically, Fabled Passage or
Plains, yeah.
To Nahiri me, or you're dead. So maybe that would have been better. But then you're getting Tolsimir wouldn't have been good enough, right?
Yeah.
You just go to 5 and you're just dead on board. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to pump.
Yeah, maybe I was still just supposed to Supreme Verdict as well, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, hindsight, it would have been better. You still get Scrounger, and then your Self-Inflicting Wound top deck does nothing. You play Murderous Rider, but then I can't cast anything because I didn't have white.
I guess you're the next turn to maybe gain life.
I don't even know if I had double green. I think by mana I had more problems than that.
Yeah.
I had a mountain, so no matter what, that was not good.
Lesson learned: deal with these mana creatures, and your deck has a hard time casting.
Oh yeah. I'm a 5-color all over the place deck. So
yeah, it's not like you're playing Vivid Lands and Reflecting Pool where
no, the mana base is not perfect. Fabled Passage is good, but it's not perfect, and you don't always know what you want immediately. So yeah, I think it's definitely vulnerable, but insanely powerful, which is a good dynamic for a deck. If you are just insanely powerful and not vulnerable, then you have Oko,
and it's a very specific class of cards that help you against the mana creatures. Edict effects, which aren't really good against a lot of the rest of the metagame.
Yeah, hexproof mana creatures are great. Before we get this started, you got one question for us though, Rob?
I do. What do you think about Kuranos in the sideboard of the 5-color Niv deck?
I think that's a reasonable one of.
We tried it out, right?
Yeah.
Again, we played this matchup against Sultai Dredge.
Yep.
And the Kuneros look not only was it good as the Grafdigger's Cage, but the body part of it was really, really, really important in the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a solid singleton.
Yeah, I think a singleton is plenty. But who knows? That could even be the main deck card. Be a nice main deck slot when you just play one. But
graveyard decks, but I see a lot of lists played 4 Rest in Pieces, play 3 Rest in Peace, 1 Kuneros.
Yeah, or the main deck Utter End seems like just very average. It could be a Kuneros based on what the metagame calls for.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so let's do this. I'm going to be on the play. This hand looks reasonable to me. I'm going to keep.
My hand looks good. I'm worried about it on the draw because it's not very disruptive, but I don't think I can mulligan it.
Yeah, I think this matchup is just, heavily favored for play draw, but every game's close. So I think if I play, I'm honestly, this is kind of what I'm at, is wanting to play one of these 2 decks at the Players Tour because I enjoy both of these styles of games. But we'll go carry at it. Go. Yep. So pretty happy if I end up playing either one of these decks.
Okay, let's play a Scrounger.
Okay,
fast.
I'll block. Alrighty, well, I think I just want to try to slow you down a bit and to ferry that. Draw and pass to you.
This is not going great.
It's going pretty great over here. This is a pretty good start.
Just got some more creatures.
Okay.
Yeah. This hand is like a hand in the blind you would never mulligan in a million years. And it might have just been a mulligan for this matchup. I just need to be disruptive.
Yeah, because I do have the restock engine here for turn 4.
7 Niv-Mizzets. It's not like it's that
crazy that I just played it. Yeah. Nahiri I'm really liking. So this is 6. Got 4 more. All right. Well, we got these 3. Yeah, I don't know how the numbers, if they're much different than the versions I've been playing, but I feel like my hits have been pretty stellar lately. So 7 cards.
You're still 20.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got a backup Niv, Blood Baron now. Blood Baron with a hexproof creature where now you can't beat this card. If I have a couple things to sack, I feel.
Yeah, that is true. I remarked that Wound is good against it, but you have all the mana creatures to protect you from those edicts.
Yeah, the edicts are good when you're ahead and you put me on the back foot, but yeah.
My hand doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I kept a hand that was this. It's
you got creatures, you got a good curve, but
maybe on the play you can keep this, but even then, I feel like I would have gotten run over.
Yeah.
Even if I was on the play.
I only kept a 4 land in this, but you draw into this. This is I think this was my exact keep. That kind of hand is perfect.
Yeah, it's a great.
And then you eventually, when you draw one of these effects, then boom, you got this. I
also drew the one Urborg and looked over your lands. It's just no swamps.
Help me out, yeah. All right.
Okay,
all right.
We've learned something very valuable. Mulligan to the disruption.
Yeah, you got to disrupt me a little bit, that's for sure. But yeah, let's stretch this to a best of 5 because I think these matches are, some games can go very one-sided like our last 2, but I think they're very close and pretty fun games. So
we got plenty of time.
We do.
Do we have plenty of questions, Robert?
Yeah, we've got some over here.
Robert?
Yeah, he's French now.
Oh, all right.
You have to speak in a French accent for the rest of the show.
Wait, can we speak in a Robert Goulet kind of? Can you just ask every question like this?
No to both of your requests.
But also in a French accent. French Robert Goulet.
yeah.
Robert Goulet.
So as far as one drops in your deck, Ross, how do you feel on the debate between Dread Wonder and Gutter Bones?
They're basically the same card to me. Like the card that I, and if you remember the list that I played at the Invitational last November, the card that I think deserves a little bit more run.
Smuggler Copter. I agree.
Yes.
I agree. That card really, I don't know why it hasn't been getting as much play now. That card was, I thought, was really good in that deck.
Gnarled Scarhide.
What does that even do?
So it's from original.
You went 7-1s. I'm not going to question you, but.
It's from the original Theros block. I can't remember exactly which set, but it's a black for a 2/1.
Okay.
It's an enchantment creature.
Okay.
And it can't block.
Okay.
And has Bestow for 3 and a black.
Okay.
So later in the game, when your opponent's playing bigger creatures, you can just bestow onto either your flyer and get it in, or bestow onto like your Scrap Heap Scrounger, get that through, or even one of your 2/1s.
Okay.
And you effectively also give it haste. Like I think there's pretty high diminishing returns on all the recursive threats, and past Scrap Heap Scrounger and Bloodsoak Champion, which are easily the two best.
Yeah, I've never returned like
Gutter Bones.
anything besides those two cards, you know, like
maybe occasionally you do.
Gutter Bones isn't even good in standard anymore. I'm just still shocked that that card's in decks,
So,
but yeah.
I like the additional utility that Scarhide brings you. And
Yeah.
I would actually be exploring playing that in that slot.
I really want to explore a mono blacklist. Like, I know you got to keep your curve pretty low, but just like a curve that's a little bigger, you know?
The other card I want to try, Rotting Regisaur. You're playing this 6/6 flyer, so why am I playing 4/4 flyers?
Yeah.
Let's play 7/6.
Yeah.
Get you dead.
Get him.
Yeah.
Get him. I don't know, though. I'm pretty happy to try a Niv for a Rotting Regisaur that 2-for-1 you, and I drew 4 cards off.
Let's just like discard your Bloodsoak Champion and get it back.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Or your Gutter Bones.
It's awkward with Castle Lochthwain.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think that card is reasonably well positioned. It's obviously like insane against red decks too. Like they just can never kill it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. See, I'm more interested in like, I don't know, maybe how great it is, but just like Kalitas in the main, you know, like
Another option for sure.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, so you start us off here. I'm up 2-1. How's your hand?
Not good.
Not good? I think
Not
fine.
good. I feel like this is a pattern where like I have a good matchup in the first match that we play, and I just like obliterate you, and then we like get to the rest of the day, and it's like
I'm a player who really thrives with my back up against the wall. Luckily, I don't have to be up on any walls because Karnak's chair's got my back, you know? So
really like having your back against the chair.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I am also a person that enjoys having my back against the chair.
When Jeskai Fires doesn't have my back, you know what does? Karnak's chairs.
Just a born Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
Surprised they cast Will Ferrell.
Have you ever listened to the Ron Burgundy podcast?
That's a thing.
Oh
Is it
yeah.
done by Will Ferrell?
Oh yeah. And all the advertisements he has in there are just hysterical. And he'll just intertwine them into that's a conversation for another day. But if any of you have never listened to the Ron Burgundy podcast, please do. It's so funny.
New sponsor win.
Yeah. I think one of their main sponsors on there is Charmin, so you can just imagine the hijinks on that one.
Yep. Well, this is a hand that could easily flop, but it could also easily be quite good, and I think we have to take the risk.
I like it.
I think this is probably redundant, so we'll send that to the bottom.
Let's do it.
We'll start on Dread Wanderer.
All right.
You're up.
I will go with a Fabled Passage. Go.
Attack for 2.
Beatdowns, 18.
Thought sees you.
Okay. Well, I search, take a peek.
I will select Sylvan Caryatid.
All right. Looks like I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Then I will play a Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Wow, you're giving me the beatdowns, huh?
That's the plan.
All right, we're going to get a Plains.
You're going to have a lot of basics on the battlefield.
Yeah, we really are.
Get out of here.
I'd like to keep that, please. All right, so 18 even, right?
Yeah.
Tie game. All righty. It's on tap, draw. All right, let's go with the Paradise Druid. Go.
just can't win, can you, Ross?
Yeah. Hey, it's not that good. I mean, I'm gonna want to Supreme Verdict you pretty aggressively, so I'd have to throw away my own Druid.
Smash.
So if I block Dread Wanderer, then I am still taking 4. You're still getting a counter. You get to bring it back at some point. Yeah, we'll take it.
On the night.
All right, take 6 down to 12.
Get a counter.
All right, done?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with this, and I'll pass to you.
I slam a jamma.
The beatdowns, huh? Well, I feel like I kind of need to block here, you know? I mean, but I could also just expect to just play Blood Baron next turn and hope that brings me back. So it'd be for 7, I'd go to 5. I take it.
Pump.
All right, I'll go to 5.
Okay. Second main swamp thought sees the Blood Baron.
No!
I'll go to 16.
Well played, well played.
Go.
All right, we're going to untap. Okay, I guess. Nah, no need.
We drew a good one?
No need.
Drew a good one? So, Niv-Mizzet, Tulsimir.
All right, Nahiri, we'll kill that.
That one's really good.
Not bad. Okay, I'll pass to you.
It's annoyingly good. Kind of hate you.
Oh, thanks. At least it's only kinda. That's not bad then.
Jesus Christ. That was so good.
That wasn't bad. My top decks haven't been terrible.
Drew some lands to start. Oh, that was actually your first good. Well, the Paradise Druid. It's good.
The Paradise Druid was only okay, actually. It kind of put me in a weird spot, but of course, on 2, that's what I kind of needed.
Really want to keep this Mute Alt around and not trade it for the Druid. It's annoying that this is Druid and not Caryatid.
Yeah.
Though I guess if it was Caryatid, it would have been way better earlier.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, just blocking Dreadwanner. I'd be at 9.
You're 5 life.
5 life totals.
Okay. Attack Nahiri.
I'll block.
Okay. Swift on Nahiri.
Okay.
You're up.
Adventure. We'll untap. Draw. Okay, your turn.
Land here would be great. That counts. Animate Mutavault, get in.
Okay, I'll go to 3.
3, and then I will just return Dread Wanderer.
Makes sense.
You can go.
Now we're in trouble. Okay, well, that's a magic card. That is a magic card.
Old Niv-Mizzet.
Yeah. All right.
Could also get a Tulsimir.
Yeah, that's probably better. I think I need to gain some life. Let's check what we got here. Yeah. So I could hostage take that as well. And then have a blocker. Then I'm dead to Rankle. I don't want to die to Rankle if possible. Niv-Mizzet Reborn dies to self-inflicting wounds, so I don't think that's great right now.
Same with Euro.
Euro's not great.
Is your other life gain cards?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Tulsimir. Yeah.
Yep. So that'll bring you to 6.
Yep. All right, your turn.
Okay. Well, guess I will try to force the Supreme Verdict with a Spawn of Mayhem.
Spawn of Mayhem, okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. Spawn of Mayhem is quite good. I guess it doesn't force it.
Not good enough.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of force it, unfortunately.
I mean, the Mutavault attack next turn would only bring you to 4.
Yeah. All right, we'll bring the beatdowns.
So this does sort of assume a Supreme Verdict. I wish I knew. I don't think that. Oh, you could have Clarion, and then just use Clarion instead of Verdict. But honestly, I think I would prefer you to use Clarion now and not gain any life off of it, and have to use 4 mana for the Verdict later, they're basically the same card, unless I draw the last remaining spawn. So, walk.
Okay.
13.
Put you to 13. Yeah, we're just Supreme Verdicting.
Yeah. But between Castle and like more Swift Ends and stuff, I might end up using like more of my life. Going to 10 seemed.
Your turn. Yeah, now we're just going to need a good top deck next turn, otherwise we will be dead. Something I kind of want is just like a Euro, if I have enough to do so. I don't think I do, but Euro would be awesome. Gain 6, have a 6/6.
And I know the card in your hand is a
Yeah.
right? So I think I just... Either way, I set up for lethal next turn with whatever play I make. The question is, do I want to just bring back... Do I want to cast Rider, bring back Wanderer, or Mutavault and Wanderer? It's if I have 1 card in hand or less.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And I'm not sure how big of a difference there is.
Yeah, Dread Wanderer seems so much better in Gutter Bones to me. Gutter Bones is like the same, except... You have to deal damage. Like I think Dread Wanderer is actually better.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're very close, and it doesn't come up that often. But I mean, here's a situation.
So against Teferi, I would rather get more things on the battlefield. Against a Sweeper, I would rather get in the damage and just force you to use it as a 1-for-1. What are the best draws you have? It's like Niv-Mizzet into thing. Niv and Bring to Light, really.
Yeah.
And you can probably find another 3-mana play.
Luckily, my best top deck I have the most of. Niv-Mizzet.
I don't know which is best against them. Though
Yeah.
I kind of expect that it's getting in damage because I have, they're good things. So let's just attack.
Go to 4.
Yeah, put you to 4. Return the Wanderer.
All right.
Pass.
You need a good one.
Definitely want to return the Wanderer over Rider. Way better against Hostage Taker. To not give you the ability to cast Murderous Rider.
Well, we get to live. Here we go.
Yeah.
Maybe get to live.
It's actually kind of awkward because I really don't want to trade Mutavault.
Yeah.
But I really want to get you to 2.
Yeah. Yeah, the self-inflicting wound problem is quite good.
Yeah. Though I guess you won't have a green creature, but it's hard for you to win without putting one in.
All right.
I will bite the bullet, though, so that'll put you to 2.
Yep.
Because I drew a pretty good one, I played a Scrounger, so if you draw a Sweeper, I can still return Scrounger and end step.
Yep, that's pretty good. All right, I'm going to sack for a blue. Luckily, a land was on top. All right. Now I got double blue. One thing I don't have is double black, so I wouldn't be able to get double black anyways off that land. So, yeah. Want to cut?
Nope.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you cut me
we'll
to
leave
that
it here
nerve.
So we can check.
Okay. Oh, leave that there.
Yeah,
sorry. Thought you meant the deck. Oh.
I was kind of hoping you would draw exactly Hostage Taker because I had that beat.
Yeah, that one would have been nice.
That one I had beat.
Yeah, you did. But what about that into that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the combination would have been tough.
Hey, we get the game 5. We get the game 5. Has just everybody who's been on the play won?
I believe so.
Wow. All right, well, let's hope...
The thing is, the games I've won on the play have been really close, and the games you've won on the play have been complete blowouts. So that should be telling.
Yeah, we're going to find out. We are going to find out.
I guess one of them was a mull to 5 on my part.
That's true. True.
They've
been all pretty decently close. There were some blowouts. I think we each had a blowout, but like even that one, coming down to a draw step, if I draw a Niv or a Bring to Light, and it was just I had to go to Tolsmere to guarantee I would stay alive, I wasn't able to Niv or Bring to Light for Niv-Mizzet, which was a problem. And maybe it just would have been better.
Yeah, maybe you're supposed to just take the risk.
Maybe I was.
Have a better chance to win the non-rankle games.
Yeah.
Which are going to be tough to win anyway. That card's going to be really good even if you do Tolsmere.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I was just supposed to jam.
So,
only one way to find out
in that game.
Yeah, well, we shuffle up. You got a question over there, Rob?
Yes. So again, for the 5-color Niv deck, do you think that a Dryad of the Elysian Grove is playable in some numbers?
I don't think so. Just because, it fixes your mana base, but I don't like having to play a ton of lands. Like Grove Spiral, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, they force you to play a lot of lands, and then you flood a lot more. I just think the 8 hexproof creatures are enough for fixing as well as Fabled Passage. But it's reasonable. It's reasonable.
Its ability to be found at Bring to Light, maybe as a one of, make it a possibility.
That's true. That's not a very high impact one of that you want to search for ever.
You
So,
also don't
yeah.
really need its effect if you're casting your Bring to Light.
Yeah, that seems like a card you would want multiple of, but the one joy of this deck is no creature removal is turned on besides a tap Paradise Druid and then killing a Niv. That's the biggest thing. If you have an Elysian Grove now that you can actually aim your Thought Scours at, or whatever, something like that, then it gets worse. Like killing Niv-Mizzets, you usually don't mind because you usually draw something to replace it. You get some action next turn. So, no, I don't think it's good enough. But it's worth thinking,
Maybe in a metagame that's really saturated with Chain Whirler, you might want to go a little bit away from Paradise Druid
yeah.
towards that card.
Or Growth Spiral, would be a consideration too. I just think Growth Spiral would be better.
Yeah, probably.
Try to lean more on green-blue lands, but...
I like being able to ramp on 2, interact on 3, Niv on 4.
Yeah.
And Dryad doesn't really do that curve. Like, you don't have a lot of ways to interact on 2 in this deck.
No.
Right? You have the cut to ribbons, and that's about it. You have some decays.
Some decays, yeah, something like that.
I knew Lists used to play Thought Erasure. They mainly cut them.
Yeah, and I like cutting Thought Erasure. It was always kind of underwhelming.
Sideboard, generally.
Yeah. Okay, so game 5 here. Let's get it going. I'm going to be on the play. All right. On the play, this hand isn't, jump off the page good by any means, but we have our colors. I think I'm going to keep.
Oh, God. Oh, this draw. Honestly, like, being interactive is important. I think it's good enough, and we'll hope to hit, and then it's great. So
okay, your turn.
Ding. Let's play Blood Soaked Champion.
Okay,
You're up.
All right, we're gonna go with a Sylvan Caryatid. Your turn.
Mutavault, Self-Inflicted Wound.
Okay,
Let's get you to 16 with the attack.
16.
You're up.
Okay, I will play a Sanctum and pass to you. Yep, killing the Caryatid always pretty brutal.
Animate Mutavault, get in for 4.
Okay, 12.
12. And then I will play Castle and Knight.
And Knight.
It'll get a counter.
I like it.
Pass.
Okay.
Don't want to run headfirst into a Verdict here.
So I got to go get a white or a black source. I guess we'll get... Doesn't matter too much. We're going to go with white, just in case we get Supreme Verdict.
17 to 15.
All right, and then it's going to be your turn.
Well, this isn't getting any better, so I think I will just wound you.
Seems good.
Brings you to 13.
Yep.
And
you got quite a nice, aggressive, disruptive draw. That was pretty solid.
yeah, so I think I'm just once again not going to run into a sweeper and
Okay.
attack you for 6.
All right, I'll take it.
7.
Yep.
And then this will get a counter. And now, if I have a land next turn, Niv-Mizzet does not stabilize you.
I do have this and this, though.
That is excellent.
Pass to you.
Definitely a card that punished my conservative plays.
Yep. Hostage Taker, sweet. But I'm still vulnerable to a lot.
So you have 3 cards in hand?
I have 3, yep.
That's 7 to 17. Yeah, I kept a hand that was a bunch of 1-drops and
Yep.
2 at wounds, but it was Castle Mutavault.
Okay, and top deck the swamp.
Rip the swamp.
Nice.
Classic. I'm going to play Dread Wanderer and Spawn.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right, that's not Rankle. Rankle was really scary to me.
Yep. Definitely better than Spawn there.
All right, I think we're going to start with a Teferi. Put that Spawn back. Then, do we want to leave mana open to pump Knight of the Ebon Legion? Maybe we kind of have to. So we're going to play this Forest and pass to you.
Yeah, this is not going great. Could chump attack 2 creatures to get in 2 damage, which is not as crazy as it sounds, because getting Corey to 5 means the spawn is lethal. That could be my best way of winning. Like, your hand's not great right now.
Yeah.
And the one attack is good, but I can make an attack next turn, most likely. So I don't think that's what I should do. And don't think there's any point in bluffing anything with an attack, so I'll just play spawn.
Okay.
And you can go.
All right, we will untap, draw. Drew a decent one here. Let's tick up. No reason to cast stuff now since we have Teferi to give us instant speed for anything. So we're just going to go land and pass.
I mean, you could want to avoid the 1 life.
Yeah, the 1 life isn't super relevant.
6 to 16?
Yep.
Attack you for 4.
No, I can choose to play this now, or I can wait to try to gain a little bit more value. Let's just wait. I'm going to take 2, or go to 2.
4. Go to 2.
Yep.
I will activate Castle in case I draw a Thoughtseize.
Okay.
I'm going to take 3 for that. Go to 13.
13, yep.
Oh, pass the turn.
Think we can be patient and just untap here. We'll draw. All right, I have 4 lands.
I was kind of wondering, like, what was going on.
Yeah.
When you took the 2, my draw that turn was the 3rd move, and I'm like, okay, I can win this game.
Yeah, we just draw lands. We really needed just anything here. Oh, there they come. We had a good early draw, kept a hand with, I think, this and 4 lands, drew Teferi, and then lands. So, yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't great.
You do play 27 lands and 8 mana creatures.
And I mean, you have to because you need to make sure you curve out. But yeah, to never bring to light in the top, one third of the deck roughly. And
that happened 1 in 5 games, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So unfortunately, happened to you at the worst possible time.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, I mean, Mono Black is a deck that just punishes stumbles. And it can also create a stumble, and I mean, you had the way to deal with my creatures to get in those early points of damage, and then flyers are just still very good,
Unless something really drastic happens, I think this deck just is a staple of Pioneer for, a long time.
Oh, yeah,
The incredibly efficient curve, powerful creatures, good removal, Thoughtseize, probably the best piece of disruption available in the entire format.
Yep.
Incredible utility lands. These might be the 2 best utility lands of the format.
I don't think they might be. I think they are. I really do. I think both of them are insane. The only disadvantage that I saw from, dang it, I'm going to butcher the name as well, but the Japanese player that won with the mono red list.
Kakume was his last name.
Kakume, okay. But the fact that he only played 1 Mutavault made me sad, because it's like Mutavaults in these mono red beatdown decks are the best, but there's also...
list has 4.
Yeah, exactly. But Kagame also has Chain Whirler and Torben. So you're sacrificing the power, but I guarantee, like, the reason why he did so well, think about that aggressively slanted mono red deck with Chain Whirler against both of these decks. I bet it has a favorable matchup against both.
Oh, yeah.
Plain and simple.
I do think Chain Whirler is quite good here.
Yeah.
It's reasonable in this matchup. If you tag Paradise Druid with it, like, that's not going to happen a ton.
Yeah.
But every time it happens, it is going to be really important.
And that's not even the major thing I'm talking about. It's like just the hyper aggressive mono red elements. The slim fast red, as we'll call it, has just a good matchup against these 5 color. Need good mana. Maybe need a turn to to stumble, find a different color, whatever have you. And those decks punish.
Good amount of reach when you're tapping out for Niv-Mizzet or something.
You get cards like Karizev. Karizev, there's not a lot of ton efficient removal. So something like that really interests me because it does have a good match against these two things. I'm kind of in this triangle of which decks to play, but once again, I'm just waiting for the regional player tours.
Yeah, I've definitely beaten mono red aggro decks with mono black. Like this deck is still just so like it's never going to be down and out in a matchup.
Yeah.
You have aggression, you have good disruption, good removal, and you have plenty of ways to play into the mid to late game. So like there's just no there's no glaring weakness in this deck.
Exactly. And you remember like when we played early on Pioneer, when we were playing a ton on Versus Live, the mono red decks looked bad, right? But now they're getting refined. They're finding that even keel amount where they want removal to creatures. What kind of creatures? All 1-drops, all 2-drops, whatever. We're finding these sweet spots that are actually fitting for a defined metagame now. So now these mono red decks are coming back and they're actually hitting hard and they're hitting fast. So.
Yeah, it's kind of funny with the monocolor decks. We've seen mono green decks, we've seen mono white, we've seen mono red, mono black. Even a little bit of mono blue, and a lot of it when we were first building them, when Pioneer was first announced. Everybody was generally using the shells that existed in previous standard environments. Mm-hmm. And what's ended up happening is there are cards that just ended up underperforming and cards that maybe we wouldn't have even expected. Like Hazoret is not a card you find in most red decks when it was sort of like, people were talking about banning that card in standard. Yeah. So, when we first thought of Pioneer.
It is in that mono red list though. Yep.
Some of them are now in the more aggressive list. Yeah. It's finally coming in, but it hasn't been a huge staple of them before. Mm-hmm. Exactly which 1-drops, which 2-drops you want. When we're building a monocolor deck in standard, it's do we have enough 1-drops and 2-drops to build a deck?
Exactly.
Now we've actually got choices, we got options. Like, Steven Dykman top-8'd the classic that I took second in with a mono white aggro list that was not playing Thalia's Lieutenant. He was playing 4 copies of Always Watching now, a card that helps to really dominate combat. Maybe that's what he needs. Or what
Dykman's always been a spicy player, that's for sure.
It's also Always Watching really good with the convoke cards. You get to attack and convoke. That's a huge tempo swing. So there's some synergy there. So building monocolor decks in Pioneer is not a simple task. There's a huge depth in the card pool that you really need to be looking at. And so it's taken us a while to get them down, and now we're finally getting to see the mono red decks emerge because we're finally seeing which cards we really want.
Yeah, the decks are able to metagame now because a metagame is being defined. So it's going to be it's going to be an interesting couple of weekends, and it's going to be an interesting couple of Versus Lives here, being able to explore some different dynamics of these team series.
But we will be moving on to our last format of the day, and that is going to be Modern, where Corey is going to be playing his favorite card in that format.
Urza, my sweet prince, you tried to take it down, but you can't.
I will be playing the updated builds of Amulet Titan. Really cool stuff going on with these decks, so you're not going to want to miss that. We will be taking how long of a break, Rob?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. We'll be back right after that. Wrap up Versus Live for the day. Don't go anywhere.